Lockdown hardship continues for millions, with new communities in New South Wales and far north Queensland joining the misery this morning. Sydney's Delta outbreak is spreading west. Residents of 12 suburbs in the city of Penrith are waking to stricter COVID rules, and the cities of Armidale and Newcastle are in lockdown too. The state's vaccination blitz shifts today to Year 12 students from Sydney hotspots who'll be able to get a jab at a special hub.
Vaccinations are also the focus in Victoria, with AstraZeneca available to over 18s at state hubs from this morning, and Australia's first drive-through vaccination centre opening to the public. And in Queensland, Cairns has entered a 3-day lockdown just as 4 million residents of the southeast emerge from restrictions. Let's get the latest from Lara Himes in Sydney, Talia Olatia in Melbourne and Michael Rennie in Brisbane. Hello again to all of you. Lara, can I start with you? There are going to be some tighter rules this morning for some residents, is that right?
Good morning, Lisa. Well, yes, it's all part of a plan in a bid to curtail that spread of the Delta variant. The stadium where I am today is hours away from being transformed into a mass vaccination hub for Year 12 students. It's all part of a bid to get those Year 12 students back to the classroom for face-to-face learning. The plan is to have those resumptions of classes August 16th. The students are expected to reach 3,000 here, where the jab will be administered. It's part of a wider plan to get more than 20,000 students vaccinated. We also know that the Wollongong Mass Vaccination Centre will come online a week early. Their target is 2,500 jabs a day, but they're going to fall well short of that target because there's still a shortage of supply for the Pfizer vaccine. We also know that there are 8 local government areas of concern. Penrith has now been added to that list. Residents in 12 suburbs this morning waking up to those tougher restrictions, including that only essential workers are allowed to leave that local government area. In terms of what the experts are saying, they're saying that unless we reach those hard vaccination targets, there's no chance of having those lockdown restrictions eased.
We're continuing to have, one person infecting more than one person, so the reproductive number is above 1, meaning the outbreak is continuing to grow. So this really isn't the time to be talking about relaxing restrictions, no matter what your vaccines get to, if it's not getting to like 90%, a very high number.
Over the weekend, Sydney recorded 581 new cases of COVID. Tragically, there were also 2 deaths, and it brings the total number of deaths for this particular outbreak to 28.
Tough times, Lara. Talia, Australia's first drive-through hub is opening today in Melbourne. What can you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Lisa. So I'm here in Melton, to the northwest of Melbourne, where Australia's first drive-through vaccination clinic starts today. What will happen is the cars will come through that back door. There are 2 bays. 6 cars will be in each bay. They will get the jab. They will then wait the 15 minutes for observation before exiting to my right and going on. Talk about convenience when getting vaccinated. It's just one of the initiatives brought forward by the state government in an attempt to get more jabs into Victorian arms. From today as well, people who are aged between 18 and 39 will also be able to get the AstraZeneca vaccine at one of 9 statewide hubs. Bookings for both of those services essential, and judging from the website, the demand is definitely there. It comes after 40 cases were reported on the weekend, all linked to previous cases. But the concerning part is none were in isolation while infectious, which means that the COVID exposure sites around the state really are growing. So authorities are encouraging people to check out that website, to go and get tested if they've been to any one of those Tier 1 or Tier 2 sites, or if they have any symptoms, and importantly, to come and get vaccinated.
Thank you, Talia. Michael, in Queensland, you had the lockdown lift yesterday afternoon. That's good news, but restrictions still in place, understandably so.
Yeah, that's right, Lisa. And the one that I think is going to affect everybody is the masks being mandated. You must wear a mask when you're indoors or outdoors across those 11 local government areas. But what we're seeing today is a new implementation of this rule in high schools. So high school students now have to wear masks when they're travelling to school, leaving school, on public transport, and while they're in the classroom as well. We haven't seen that before in the southeast Queensland. And I'm outside Maris Brothers Ashgrove, which is on Brisbane's north side. And at this school, they've made the call to actually get all the students at this school wearing the mask. And not just the high school students, also the grade 5s and grade 6 students will also be wearing those masks. And we know that there's a number of students who go to this school who actually got caught up in that schools cluster that we saw recently that saw us go into that lockdown for 1 week. And so those students will be logging on this morning and online learning while they're in quarantine. There's a number of students at this school who have got block exams starting today, Elisa, for the next couple of days. So that's going to be tough on them. And then you look at the school sport as well. That is cancelled for at least the next 2 weeks. Indeed, community sport across those 11 local government areas cancelled for the next couple of weeks. But we have to have some of those restrictions eased. You can have 10 people at your home now, 20 people at funerals and weddings, and those non-essential businesses can also reopen, but just with restrictions around the numbers of people that can come through. So yeah, good to see the lockdown lifted in southeast Queensland, but we know with Delta around it can change very quickly.
Yeah, Lara, Talia and Michael, thank you for all of that.